Hello, everybody. So today is our ministry and marketplace series, and so today I want to kind of talk to you personally, and so I'm talking about how I am returning to, and I call it my first love, but it's actually my first love is, of course, loving Jesus. So I am returning to the first form of genre that I ever wrote for and have wanted to write for since I was a little boy, and that is, of course, the writing of parables and stories, what the world calls writing fiction. I don't particularly like the term fiction because fiction, it denotes not telling the truth or telling lies or creating stories based on illusion. Um, I like to think more that my stories are parables, narratives, because they communicate. Even though I am creating a story, it communicates a gospel of kingdom truth. And it is based upon truth, not lies. Okay. And so I am returning to the writing of stories and parables. And I actually started writing an anthology of parables based upon the love, based upon love, which is, of course, written about by the Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians 13. Writing for me has always been a journey of self-discovery, and the Lord has been leading me back to this early path, this path that I've wanted to be on since I was probably 10 years old, up until I wrote my first book, which was a parabolic story about three men who were dealing with life, and they were all being mentored by their spiritual father, a pastor. And so I released that book in 2009. It was my very first book, written, not the first book I written, but the first book that was published. And so on the 1st of November, which was 2 days ago, today being the third, I returned to my writing journey, even though I spent most of October and some of September preparing for it. But I returned to my writing journey, and now I feel drawn back to my roots, which is writing stories and parables. Okay. And so for me personally, writing has always been a source of solace and expression. The very first book that I wrote, I was 25 years old. Uh, 25, because it was the year my son was born. I was dealing with a lot of just, just dealing with a lot of stuff early in my marriage. Life wasn't really going the way I wanted it to go, and I would come home and I started writing a book, and so that was the first novel or the first parable that I had written. So writing that story became a source of solace for me, and my particular creative expression has always been writing, even though I mentor and coach a lot of different creatives in a lot of different fields. But for me, writing has always been my creative expression. From those days, even back to my teen years, back to my childhood, I've always been captivated by the art of storytelling, and I have found immense joy in creating stories that spoke to the human condition. And so, unfortunately, after writing that first book, over time, I strayed from the path of writing stories and parables. I began to really deal with other forms of writing. And then, of course, I became a mentor to writers and creatives, and then a coach to writers and creatives. We entered into the apostolic ministry, which I'm now walking in full time. And so, even though I strayed, my skills have always been enriched. My experiences have always been enriched. And so then the Lord began talking to me either late last year or early this year, and the Lord began to speak to me about returning to the writing of parables and stories. And so now we are returning to it, and so I'm using my 21-day writing system that I created some years ago, and I've written several books using my 21-day writing system. And so for the next 21 days, starting on November 1st through November the 21st, this is going to be my framework for writing and flowing creatively in the creation of this anthology of stories that I am currently telling. So on day one, I wrote a story based upon love is patient, which is the first attribute of love that Paul wrote about in 1 Corinthians 13. And I wrote a story about a couple who had to rebuild their life and rebuild their marriage after one of the partners violated the marital trust. Yesterday, I wrote about a young man. Yesterday, we wrote a story based upon love is kind, and we wrote about a young man who has dedicated himself to working in the inner city and as a social worker, and he's reaching out. He's using kindness to reach out and transform the lives of the children he is dealing with, and he's changing lives. Today, the third day, I wrote about love is. Let's see, what is the third characteristic? Love does not envy, and I wrote about a couple who, although they loved each other, had great love for each other, as one continues to become successful, and their success is overshadowing the success of their spouse, the spouse begins to deal with envy. And then we write about how he came to a breakthrough and turned away from envy. So each day I am writing about the nature of love and its ability to inspire, and transform. Okay. And so I'm hoping that these stories are going to reconnect with the emotions of my readers, and that they're going to experience love and how love has the power to evoke all types of feelings: joy, sorrow, hope, and empathy. And as I have been writing these love parables for the last 3 days, it is also allowing me to explore the depths of human emotions and connections. And so hopefully on the 21st, I'm going to be completed with this anthology. I have an ambitious goal, and that is to have the anthology released by Christmas. That is my hope. I've already got my team ready to do the work of helping me publish it. And so I am really excited, not only about this story, but I'm excited about the future that is being created as I return to this earlier path. And I do believe that these stories are going to be a testament to the enduring power of love, its ability to heal wounds, to inspire change, and to connect with people in the most profound way. All right. And so I also want to offer you that even though I'm writing, and I'm going to be talking about the writing of this anthology throughout this writing process, I want to offer you the opportunity, if you're feeling led to write, to return to writing, or to begin writing. I want to offer you the opportunity to get my book writing system How to Write a Book in 21 Days. We're offering it on our Gumroad website, where you will get the ebook along with the video of the class. I actually did a class a few years ago where I walked the writers through the process, so you'll get the ebook and the video. Also, I am a writing coach, so if you are in need of a writing coach, someone to come alongside of you, to encourage you and to help you, then the link will be in the description box where you can reach out to me for a strategy session. So you can either buy the course or you can connect with me, talk to me about this strategy session on how I can help you to write your book. Okay. Thanks for watching always. I want to encourage you to support this channel by subscribing to our channel if you have not, by liking this video, and then by sharing it with others. Okay. God bless you. Shalom.